ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to our ISKCON official YouTube channel. Today I am going to discuss 15th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto. Here Pandava's retirement is being described. So we have heard about in 14th chapter how Yudhishthira Maharaj was inquiring so many things from Arjuna about Lord Krishna. So that Arjuna now stated something, but he couldn't speak because of feelings of separation from the Lord. That is Vipralama Bhava. Vipralama Bhava, with that Bhava, with that separation, mode of separation, our way of worship is in this mode of separation. So, in the first text it is said, the Evam Krishna Sakha Krishna Bhratra Ragya Vikalpitaha Nana Sankas Padam Rupam Krishna Vishlesakarsitaha. In this way, as we have here heard in 14th chapter, Yudhishthira Maharaj had so many doubts. So, Evam Krishna Sakha Krishna, Arjuna, his qualification is Krishna Sakha. He is the friend of Krishna. Everyone is related to Krishna, but we don't know what is our relationship. So, by hearing this, we understand what is our relationship. We will hear Phalastuti. What is the effect of hearing these pastimes? It will be described in the last of this chapter. So, Krishna Sakha Krishna Bhratra Ragya Vikalpita. Yudhishthira Maharaj was finding out so many ways whether this happened, whether that happened. In this way, Yudhishthira Maharaj was inquiring. So, Nana Sanka Swadam Rupam was apprehending so many things. So, Krishna Vishlesakarsita. And this Arjuna was so much afflicted by the separation of Krishna that he couldn't speak. Finally, he will speak. Now, in this chapter, we'll see what he said. So, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada Maharaj says, being too much aggrieved, Arjuna practically became choked up. And therefore, it was not possible for him to reply properly to the various speculative inquiries of Maharaj Yudhishthira. So finally, after gathering some courage or after gathering some strength, Arjuna could speak. So, I remember the Lord Krishna. I was having so much intimate relationship with him. As we hear from Bhagavad Gita, Krishna and Krishna Sakha, Arjuna, so much intimate relationship. So, here in text 4, it said, Shakyam Maitrim Sahrudam Cha Sarathyadisu Sansmaran Nrupam Agrajam Ityaha Vaspragadgadaya Gira. How the Lord worked, Lord had his pastimes with Krishna, with Arjuna. Arjuna is also Krishna, as we have heard. So, he remembered how he was having so much friendly relation. Sakyam, Maitrim, Sahudam. These are all similar words, almost meaning friends. But there is a difference. What is the difference? Stated in the purport by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, that Premna Paraspara Hiteshitvam Sakyam. Sakya means out of love, one wants to do benefit to others. Hiteism, do welfare to his friend. Paraspara Hiteisam Sakyam. So, Maitrim Dasyam Isram Sakyam. Maitra means Dasya Mishra Sakya. Friendship with a service attitude. Dasya Mishra Sakyam. That is Maitrim. And what about Saudam? Saudam means Vatsalya Mishram Sakyam. Just like parental mood. Sakyam, parental mood. We will hear in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, these are the different relationships with the Lord, just like Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. In Sakya Rasa, there is also Dasya Rasa. Then higher than Sakya Rasa is Vatsalya Rasa. There both Sakya and Dasya are included. And in Madhurya Rasa, all the rasas are included, just like Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya. And just like these material elements, Panchabhuta, Bhumi, Apo, Nala, Vayu, Kham, and this we will see that these are the relationships with the Lord. So Arjuna remembered, by the time the Lord left, he was almost 135 years old, 129 years. Arjuna was of that age. But not that they were old, they were looking young always. So Arjuna remembered his relationship, his friendship with the Lord, how intimate they were. So in this way, he couldn't speak. He couldn't speak. Bhaspa Gadgadaya Gira, with him choked up voice, he started speaking in a crying mood. He was almost crying. He couldn't speak. Just like Mahaprabhu couldn't speak even Jagannath. While in the front of Ratha Yatra, in the front of chariot of Lord Jagannath, he couldn't speak even Jagannath, ja, ja, ga, ga, like that. It was described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. In this way, Arjuna told that Vanchitoham Maharaja Harina Bandhurupena Jename Apurda Tejam Deva Visma Banang Mahat. Vanchitoham Maharaj. Oh Maharaj, who is his own brother, elder brother? Harina Bandhurupena. I was deprived by my friend. The Supreme Personality of God Hari, who treated me exactly like an intimate friend, has left me alone. Thus my astounding power. He has so much power. Even Deva Visma Banam, even demigods were astonished like Lord Shiva. There is a pastime in Mahabharata. But he is having no power, so to say. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada Maharaj says, no one therefore can be independently powerful in any measure without being empowered by the Lord. Then Arjuna focuses on Lord's instructions on Gita, stated in text 30, Gitam Bhagavata Jnanam Jattat Sangram Urdhani Kala Karma Tamaruddham Punaradhyagamat Prabhu. That Gitam Bhagavata Jnanam, this Bhagavad Gita, what is Bhagavad Gita? It is song of the Lord. Bhagavad Gita Bhagavata, that is full of jnana, full of knowledge. Gitam Bhagavata Jnanam Jatat Sangram Urdhani, which the Lord instructed at the time of Kurukshetra war, Kurukshetra Yuddha. Kala Karma Tamaruddham, almost by this time 35 years passed. Kala Karma Tamaruddham Punaradhyagamat Prabhu. Again, Arjuna remembered those knowledge 35 years after. He remembered all this knowledge. So he could be able to pacify himself by this knowledge of the Lord, instruction given in Bhagavad Gita. So, and then after hearing how the Lord has passed away, so Kunti Devi was also hearing that. So she also passed away from her body. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada Maharaj says, one must prepare himself to go back to Godhead by practicing devotional service. That guarantees a passport for going back to Godhead, and Kunti Devi adopted it. By hearing that disappearance news of Lord Krishna, she immediately disappeared. She immediately left her body. How great Kunti Devi is, you can understand. We have heard about Kunti Devi in first canto 8th chapter. There are 26 prayers, 26 verses described. We have described it. So, then Yudhishthira Maharaj, he prepared for going back and for leaving this material world. So, how he left his body, it is described in text 41. There is a process, just like the opposite of creation, how the creation takes place. Similarly, the destruction just the opposite way, from subtle to gross, and while disappearing from gross to subtle. In this way, this material world is going on. So in this way, Sutta Goswami describes these pastimes of the Lord with Arjuna and others. And he says, Sutta Goswami says in text 51, Jaha Shraddhayaitad Bhagavata Priyanam Pando Sutanam iti Samprayanam Sunanti Alam Swastyanam Pavitram Labdva Haro Bhaktim Upaiti Siddhim. By hearing these pastimes, what happens? We don't know, but Sutta Goswami says in text 51 that the subject of the departure of the sons of Pandu for the ultimate goal of life back to Godhead is fully auspicious and is perfectly pure. Therefore, anyone who hears this narration with devotional faith certainly gains the devotional service of the Lord, the highest perfection of life. By simply hearing this, then we get the highest perfection in life. So you can understand what is the effect of hearing these pastimes. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada Maharaj says, by the process of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, one can attain the highest perfection of life, namely going back home, back to Godhead, without failure. Without there is no failure. One must definitely will go back to the spiritual world. So thank you very much for listening to this discourse, and please don't forget to subscribe, share, and like our channel, and get the blessings of the Lord. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.